Welcome in, everyone, to the latest episode of Snap Count Society. It is your host, The Buff. Very, very special episode. It's week 1, 2 sleeps from kickoff. And you'll see we have a new man in the seat for just this week. Guest spot. We have Benni in place of Stevie tonight. Stevie's away with some work. So, Benni, how are we, my man?
Good, man. Happy to be on. Thank you, boys. I've been begging to come on, to be honest. Talk about me, my dynasty teams and my redraft teams. But hey, anyway, I'm happy to get the call up now and talk some shit with you blokes.
Yeah, we love that, man. We love that. We absolutely love having you on board, man. And we just, as long as you don't talk about the Ravens, man, we're all good.
Nah, not at all. Not too much. Stay humble about that. But yeah, big shoes to fill with Stevie. So hopefully live up to it.
100%. And for the listeners at home, Stevie will be back this weekend. But Goat, my man, how are you feeling? We've made it. 2 sleeps.
We've got 2 sleeps to go. I see that the Colts are sort of, the hype train's about to leave the station. Times is about to drop it on the league. We're getting ready. I think we're getting closer for that big game. Benni, good luck tonight. Big shoes to fill. So, we're glad to have you, but
sauce, man. Go bring that heat, bro.
My own flavour. I'll bring my own flavour to this episode.
We want regular season Lamar. We don't want playoffs Lamar. That's what
we absolutely love that, man. Well, look, there's been a fair bit going on, and we always know that with the season and as the kickoff draws near, there's plenty of moves. We've gone through the cut days. We've gone through preseason, and now we're sort of seeing some contract situations play out. And we covered the Micah Parsons trade, but I guess we're like looking at what Jerry Jones is doing, and I think he's sitting there and he's got both middle fingers sticking up at Parsons right now, signing Bland to a big contract extension. Boys, what are your thoughts? What do you make of that particular deal?
I'll leave that one to Benni. I know Benny's really good at scouring the Twitter sphere for the updates, but he's a man that he knows that stuff well. So I'll let Benni cover that one.
Yeah, it's a big FU to Micah, that one. I just don't know what Jerry's doing, to be honest, or where he's going. But look, at the end of the day, he had to pay Micah. That's really it, to be honest. Whether he signed Blanche or not, he had to pay Micah. He didn't. Now, it's definitely an FU, but it's interesting because George Pickens' agent is Micah's agent, and his contract's coming up, I believe, at the end of next year or the year after. So they're going to go into contract talks probably during the season this year or at the end of the season. So David Mulligeta is his name. So what he does after the whole Micah stuff, who knows?
Yeah, who knows now? George Pickens right there. Yeah. That is some great intel. I just like, it's a wrinkle you don't even think about. Hey, like when you go and tell the owner of the biggest franchise in world sport, you've gone and told him to shove it up his ass. Yeah. And you've got another player that you're repping. And he'd have multiple players he's repping. He's a big agent.
It's funny. It's funny that because David Mulligan's actually is David Mulligan's is actually Buff's agent on the golf course. So there's got to be things we need.
Let's mind that from you, man. I don't mind that. Early fire from the boys. There's a couple strays, a couple bullets come away. I'll take it. As long as my boy CMC gets firing this week. Moving on to the next one. So contract has been signed, and I think this is a big statement myself, but I'll let you boys sort of take it from an unbiased perspective without the Pittsburgh rose-coloured glasses on. Jaylen Warren signing a contract extension, and he's got some pretty decent amount of money in terms of guaranteed cash. What do you make of it?
Look, do you want the short or the long answer, Buff?
I'll leave it to you, my man.
I think, look, the way I look at it is Devin Singletary got a similar kind of deal. Had a year, went to another club. I think Caleb's the long-term answer, obviously, but I think Jaylen can, fill a space, and he's going to be with the Steelers potentially for the 2 years, but I'm not reading into it too much.
Yeah. That's fair. No, I like that that analysis. I think what Johnson showed at Iowa, he's a power runner, and he can do a bit of it all. And Jalen Warren's definitely shown that he's got some talent, and he's probably earned an extension, to be fair. These guys cop a pound, and we've spoken about it before in that ground and pound episode in terms of the volatility of the running back position. They get absolutely punished, and because of that, they break down and don't get paid. So it's good to see them get paid when, I guess what maybe they have earned in that space. In Sean Jenkins, we spoke about this last episode. It's an absolute roller coaster, and I guess it's just a great little analogy. Illustrates what Cleveland Browns franchise is like. It is a roller coaster. I could not imagine going for that franchise. So they've gone from potentially not being able to sign him until the NFL investigation's over. It's now being said that he could be with the team this week. Is he with the team? Yeah, I don't know if he's been with the team today.
He's still not there. But it's an interesting one. I obviously I've got him in one of our dynasty leagues, so I've been keeping a close eye on him. But apparently it's got to do with money now and the guarantees and whatnot. So that's why he's in there. But I know it's just kind of getting to the point now saying sign the goddamn thing and let's get you into camp and let's get going. But because he's a top 40 pick, so look, you're not happy if you're a Browns fan, to be honest. But
is there a world he goes back to college?
No, I doubt he goes back. He's probably done it all at college, hasn't he? Now he was at Ole Miss and he did well there, and he went to Iowa and then he's won a natty and. I think he's probably ticked the box he wanted to tick, and the next step.
It's like even listening to Will Howard speak. He was on Pat McAfee podcast this week, and that they've celebrated it, like their group have celebrated their year, and now they've sort of got a new team in Ohio State. So it'd be actually really interesting, like if Ryan Day had the opportunity to bring him back in the fold. I think obviously he's a caliber, like you'd be like stupid not to bring him in, but how does that then disrupt the guys that you recruited that have had to sit and wait behind? Henderson was there too, wasn't he? And you've got Judkins and Henderson, and you've got guys sitting behind. They now have their shot. That would not, as a coach, you'd be cognizant of upsetting the apple cart, I think. But I think that now it's being reported, as Benni saying, the world and the chances of him being able to go back to college. Now it's been reported he's going to be back with the Browns. He might not make it out of Cleveland if the bloody contract.
Yeah. I'll come for him.
Any other news stories? Any headlines you want to raise, boys, before I move on to our next segment?
I saw that Gabe Davis has gone back to Buffalo, so he signed back there. I saw he probably shouldn't have left in the first place. Look, he's back. That's I guess that's a good thing for Gabe Davis owners, if so, because they're definitely in need of a pass catcher or an extra weapon for Josh Allen.
Probably someone worth a dart throw off the waiver wire. I think with the Judkins news in terms of fantasy implications until further notice. I think Tommy spoke about it last episode. Just start forward. He may be in the dynasty league if you've got Samson. You can sort of just stash him in your taxi squad. Any others we want to move before we move on? I think we might be ready.
No, only thing is just the depth charts came out and Bill was RB4 on the depth chart. So we read into that kind of stuff and so rest in peace, Bill.
I got a question off our Instagram story that actually relates to this. And I feel like maybe we just perfectly segues. From Just Zoe __.
Yep.
Should we be taking week 1 running back depth charts seriously?
Look, well, I'll let you that. You're the depth draft.
Look,
king.
Realistically, there's certain things out of the depth chart that we do take seriously, and there's certain things that we don't. But I think, Just Zoe, I'll say this. Look at the depth charts. They're there for a reason. Stay away from Bill. He's no good.
I actually saw something as well. There was another fantasy podcast, and their name escapes me right now, but they put something out before. It was like hot takes, and it's like Bill Krosky will not start one single game for Washington this year.
God,
that stuff has got out of hand. There is
stupid.
Like, is there a
Crazy.
world genuinely that he is fantasy relevant? Like, I'm being genuinely serious.
The world is like injuries hit, like we spoke about volatility.
Yeah.
That's the world. That's the only way it happens. You got
Yeah.
Eckler and you've got Rodriguez. Rodriguez is going to be that pound back, like he's going to be that between tackles, and you got Eckler who can sort of do a bit of both. But
So
obviously
we're relying.
his age,
So we're relying on James Rodriguez to go down.
basically.
Yeah.
It's just that time of the year. Well, it happens probably every year where you'd see in the fantasy world, people try to push a player up the list, whether it's running back or wide receiver, and because they've got him essentially.
Yeah.
So they go, oh,
that's right.
I've picked up Bill Crosby off waivers.
That's right.
Now he should be RB1.
That's right. And I think this may come. This is the other part of that from what was the Instagram again?
Just Zoe __.
Gotcha. Okay. Just Zoe. And it could be just Zoe that there's someone involved who owns those players and who's really wanting them to succeed. And if they're wanting those players to succeed, then if they see those depth charts, it might make them feel a little bit uncomfortable. So, yeah.
It's like
we'll see what happens in the season.
The insecurities.
Just a reminder for the viewers and listeners: Devon A-Chain was a week 1, did not play last year. So just don't think too much into the depth chart.
No, yes, it's absolutely good.
Don't get me started on A-Chain. Archain.
A-Chain.
All right, so what we're going to move into, we're going to do game-by-game rapid reactions. I'm going to fire them. I want to fire them basically like rapid. I'm going to go at you guys on rapid 2-3 sentence.
Yeah, go
punchy.
Gotcha.
Give it to me. So, and it could be your thoughts just on who's going to win. Could be fantasy relevance. Could be like who you might see in some tipping competitions. They run spreads, whatever it may be. Give me your thoughts on what's going to happen in these games. We're going to skip the first 2. Because we want to go into them in detail, and we'll do that after we get through this rapid reaction. So we're going to start with Monday morning at 3 a.m. here in Melbourne. You bloody beauty. Yeah. Tampa Bay versus Atlanta. Benny, you're up first.
This is an interesting game. Michael Penix, probably first season starting from the get-go. So it'll be interesting to see how London and Pitts fall into that. You're starting Bijan if you have Bijan. That's no question about it, really. If you've got Baker Mayfield, you're starting Baker as well. I'm a massive Ibuka fan. I do love my young wide receivers. So if you got him, I'm saying take a little bit of a dart throw, chuck him in your flex if you can, or your WR2. And you're also starting Big Mike. Mr. 1,000 yards.
Mike.
You just got to keep starting him. And Bucky as well. With the injuries that they've got in that backfield, I think Bucky's just going to eat it up. But yeah, for me, I do like Baker for 2 passing touchdowns in this game. I think Bucks take it to Atlanta and get the win over the line.
Bucky went on that one too. Buffy's going to put his stamp of approval on Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tommy, Cincinnati against Cleveland.
Oh, well, I think for me, Cincy are going to absolutely walk them. So I'd be looking to take whatever the line is, take that for a Cincy win. Joe Burrow's going to go bananas. We see a healthy T. Higgins entering the season. Will free up Jamar Chase. They've got Chase Brown running loose. Their defense is quite poor, so it'll mean that teams can get back into it. But I generally don't see a world where Cleveland can win more than 3 games this year. And I think they're going to be throwing the pill a lot. And I think in order to get into the game, you're going to see Njoku probably have a really big day.
Yeah, I think he's probably like the Cleveland Brown that you're going to start over. Yeah. Like obviously Ford's probably a play, but Njoku's
what's your takes on Jerry Jeudy, Tommy? Do you start him? Is he a flex option? Does he sit on your bench for week 1?
I would still start Jerry. I think he's going to probably have a stat line, something like 5 catches, 50 yards. Yep, I think that's a minimum.
Can I just add that you spoke about like the spread for those tipping competitions that are against the spread. Cincinnati only -4.5.
I would smash that.
Smash.
To be honest,
Eat that up. I would eat that tough.
That's a big smash.
Smash.
Yeah, Cincy win, Cincy -1.5 like that.
Take that.
Benny, back to you. And I'm glad we did this because we don't get Tommy talking. I know he's going to put in a little bit of input here. Miami against Indianapolis.
Fins up. Yeah, interesting. Last year, Miami, their offense was probably, let's be honest, a shambles. Teams played cover 2 against them pretty much every single game, and McDaniels just didn't have an answer for it. So, look, for me, you probably start Tyreek as well in this game. He's back from injury. I think it'll be a good play. Waddle, I'll stay cautious. I've got Waddle in the league as well, but I'll be on the cautious side of this one. JT, you hammer that one in, to be honest. I just think with Danny Dimes under center, he's going to be leaning on a running back. That's really what they do. So lock in JT. That's a good play. And then I'm also interested to see all the pass catches at the Colts. To be honest, I know I haven't spoken about Devin on the Finn side as well. He's a good play as well at the backfield, but the Colts pass catches, there's a few now. Warren is added to the mix. Downs, Pittman, Mitchell, Pierce. Everyone's forgetting about Mitchell and Pierce as well. But what can Danny do? Can he unlock him? I think for a little cheeky play, Josh Downs, get him into your lineup.
Yeah.
You saw last year, Danny Dimes loved hitting Wan'Dale Robinson. And I believe they played the similar role down to the Colts. So get Josh Downs in. He'll be a good play this year. And then for ones at home, JT 60+ yards I like this week. So
I think you'll comfortably get that in, my man.
Yeah. So
it's going to be a tight game. I think whoever wins this game, look, if Colts can get the early win, I think you start to look at Super Bowl tickets. And
you're kidding yourself, aren't you? Already,
we're there. Yeah,
he's trying to trick
Tyler
himself,
Warren.
What's your takes on Shane Steichen? Is he? Do you think if they go 7-10 this year, correct? They play 17 games. They go 7-10.
Mm-hmm.
He's gone.
Does he stay? Does he go? Does he what happens? And at what point does A-Rich come in if they start the season 1-4?
I think if
does A-Rich come in? Does Steichen keep his job? There's a few questions.
Look, you guys are being silly.
I reckon A-Rich comes in. 2-4. I reckon they come in. I've got the Finns to win.
Okay, that's
yeah. I haven't had deep dived into it too much.
Yeah.
I've got JT 60+ is probably what I'm looking at the moment.
Yeah.
For any plays.
Yeah, Colts will win. Move on.
Carolina versus Jacksonville, Tommy.
Oh, God, I don't care. Carolina versus Jacksonville. Wow. I think, oh, mate. That could be. No. That game. Look, the other thing I'm interested in saying is see if Bryce Young takes a step forward. Clearly moving forward with a really young wide receiver core. Unfortunately, Jalen Coca is
my boy.
He's out for 4 weeks on the IR. So
shout out about that.
Tet's going to be fed. You've got Xavier 3-leggets, and I don't know what else, but I think the Jags should win.
You forgot about Chuba.
You got Chuba.
Chuba can get stuff because there's a certain there's a certain bloke out there who shouldn't be speaking about fantasy who is promoted him. So Chuba's just a ground and pound back, but Jag should win. I think it'll be good to see how Travis Hunter goes. I obviously don't think they're going to get him involved very heavily. I think from week 7 onwards, you might see a bit more, like the percentage of snaps will go up. But Jag should win, and it doesn't matter who the running back is. I think they should get the win pretty comfortably.
Yeah, I've got
Carolina because second year under their coach, and they're used to him. What have you got, Benny?
I've got Chuba 40+ rush yards. I just think Jags aren't that good defensively and stopping the run. So I don't know. First year coach for Cohen as well at the Jags. So we'll see how that works and how Hunter plays both sides of the ball. I'm more interested about that To be
That
honest, to see
game's
how that works.
the one I'm highlighting in terms of it's going to be like as GOAT's reaction. But like sometimes, like last year, the offenses took a little while to warm up on like for every team. I just think that game's going to be shit house. I think it's going to be putrid.
I don't know. It's an interesting one I like to keep an eye on because I'm interested in the Jags backfield. Like you saw last year, Cohen at the Bucks. He used Bucky and Rashid White in different ways. Like who's Rashid White this year? Who's Bucky? And who's it's week one.
It is
you want
week
to see
one.
how this all works out.
But at the end of the day, it's a stinky game, similar to the other one that I think will be a stinky game this week, Ben.
I've got a stinky one. I've got to hear ugly game in brackets.
Yeah, can you tell me about that ugly game? What's that ugly game you've got in brackets?
Is that the next one on the list?
Las Vegas versus New England.
Oh, okay. Sorry, we're thinking
you jumped the gun, mate.
Sorry.
Is that me? LV, where am I here?
Yeah, you go
Las Vegas versus New England.
Sorry? This is, I've got here in brackets again, horrible game. It's another game I'm not really interested in watching or seeing, but anyway, it's going to be on. Obviously, Ashton, see how he goes, and obviously interested to see how Gino works in with Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll, great coach, isn't he? So at his time at the Seahawks. So
yeah.
Let's see. It'll be interesting how that works. Does Bowers continue to get peppered? I believe so. It is weird, though, because like the last 2 years, trends of tight ends, young ones that have come in, the year after, they kind of drop off.
Yeah, Laporta.
So you saw Laporta. He had a big year his first year. Pitts the year before, I think it was. Like they all kind of just have a good first year, and then next year they kind of drop. I'm not saying that's going to happen to Bowers, but it'll be interesting with a new coach and a new QB. Another one is interesting to see the running back room for New England here. So how much does Travion get work? How much does he split with Stevenson and with Rabel as the new coach? Yeah, does Gibson get a little sprinkle of Gibson in there? Who knows? But yeah, it's an interesting one. That's another. There's a few running back rooms week one that I've got to iron out. So I like Drake May here, 20 plus rushing yards.
Ooh, good call.
I think, I think he still gets that little work of rushing in him as well when he's under pressure. So yeah, that's how I'm going.
Who wins?
You go
first. I've got Pats winning, to be honest, with Rabel. So I just think he's a great coach. I'm not saying Pete's not a great coach. I just think Rabel back in New England, where he won a Super Bowl. Yeah, that's what I think he's going to win this week.
All right, Tommy, before I give you Benny's going to have the game that you really, really want to hammer. You've got Arizona and New Orleans.
All right, Arizona versus Saints. Versus Saints. Yuck.
I got ugly game. Another ugly. 3 ugly games.
The 3 a.m. games
back
suck.
to back.
That's okay. They're there for a reason. Look, I think that the Cards get up pretty easily. I think the Saints, unfortunately, aren't going to be very good this year. And I think that the Cards have to be better this year. They have to be. Because if they aren't, then it might be time for Kyler to actually get traded. Because I can't see them moving forward. Like, has he played in a playoff game?
I think he's played one from memory.
Yeah.
And they lost.
So, I mean, they've got to figure things out. They've got Trey McBride, they've got Marvin year 2, they've got a pretty good run game, and the Trey Benson will maybe get a bit more carries this year. And I think the Saints, Saints are one Spencer Rattler away from having an undefeated season. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. That QB room's disgusting.
Horrible.
I think I've got Olave there. He's got a lot of talent, but still concerns there with some head knocks. I think, AZ get up pretty comfortably for me.
Do you start Olave this week with Spencer, under center, or Schloff, or whoever it is?
Put him in your flex.
Tyler Shark?
Yeah. No. No, Olave. Olave. You chucking Olave in this week, or
Olave? Yeah, he'd be a flex option. Mind you, as well, lines at 6.5, and I think that's another like the Cincy. That's smash.
Oh, wow.
Who?
6.5. I know.
Yeah, he's making these lines.
I don't know.
Good
Oh.
zone, man.
Quick question: who has more wins, Browns or Saints this year?
Saint.
Oh, that's tough. But I reckon Saints. I just think that they play Carolina twice, so they're going to be in that game. They have to be.
Tight though.
Yeah.
Tight.
All right.
Who does Cleveland own their own first and someone else's?
I believe so.
Don't know.
Maybe get back to me, someone. But I reckon
Yeah.
Cleveland have a couple first this year.
Producer post in the producer room, so one of you boys can get that one up on Google for us. The Buffs in the Buff Cave. Now we've got the stinky game, as you boys want to put it. I just think it's the dawn of a new era. And Benny, Pittsburgh versus New York Jets in Flushing Meadows.
Steal this out of your hands, Buffness. So I know you want to probably speak a little bit about this game. You definitely probably do.
That's all right,
but
man.
For me, Fields and Rodgers back against their old teams, which is very weird, isn't it? So it's interesting, this game. I think the new coach down there in New York, he's very defensive coordinator of Detroit. Forgot his name, but yeah. So it'll be interesting. Pardon?
Aaron Glenn.
Yeah, Aaron Glenn, correct. There you go. So it'll be interesting because Jets didn't have that bad of a defense last year before they sacked Salah. Interesting to see that. Fields with Garrett Wilson, I don't know. It's an interesting one because I just don't trust Fields. If I'm a Garrett Wilson owner, I don't know if I trust having Fields as a quarterback to get me those 15 plus points this year. Maybe yes, down in the red zone, but majority of the time, it's interesting. And then another big talking point for me in these games is the RB rooms for both sides, to be honest. How does Caleb Johnson mix in with Jalen Warren? Now he's got a big contract, and then all that talk of Breece Hall, Braylon Allen.
Contract year.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. And then, also interesting to see DK with Rodgers, which will be good. Yeah. Can the old man still sling it? So
I don't think that he needs to like sling it.
Here we go.
He doesn't need to be the old school cowboy. He just needs to be like field general and like be good. Because I actually think, like, as you just said about the concerns about New York Jets and their offense, I actually like parts of that offense this year. I actually like Fields as a fantasy QB. I feel like he's good enough to get Wilson his targets, and I think Breece will be fine. But I don't love them this week because of that defense is renowned for being tough to play against. And I think it's going to be another game where fantasy-wise, you're not going to love, like teams like New York coming up against Pittsburgh, you're not going to love starting those players.
No.
Except for the kickers.
So do you start Justin Fields this week?
Yeah.
If you had...
I think you start him.
You have to.
You have to, because of the upside. Because I think anything that happens is going to come from him. Like, and he's going to be running the ball, and he's going to get those yardage, like those plays with his legs.
Yeah.
But that being said, I don't know about you. What have you got winning this game?
I've got Steelers winning.
Yeah.
In this game, and I like Fields, 30 plus rush yards though. For my kind of little cheekiness this week. So I just think he's probably going to run it.
Lions only 2.
Yeah, I think it'll be a close game.
It'll be close.
If you own a kicker from either of these teams, you're a winner this week. Start them both.
What's the weather like in New York, though?
I don't know, mate, but there'll be plenty of 50-plus field goal attempts there. It'll be a festival of punting.
It'll be good to see Jalen Ramsey too. How does he fit into that defense?
He's going to get torched, mate. He's washed. He's so washed.
He's not like what he'll be doing. You got Slay, you've got...
Yeah, Slay.
Oh, you got Slay 37?
No, but we got Joey Porter. Joey Porter goes to wide receiver 1.
Okay, where's Slay?
Slay's going to be just in there, maybe in the nickel, just like sort of floating around.
Where's Ramsey? Is Ramsey gone?
Ramsey is going to go in between cornerback and safety.
Yeah. He was talking about when he signed, he wants to play cornerback now, but who knows with that bloke anymore. So
I think I saw some interviews the other day and I was happy with it, but let's just say next game. Tommy, we got New York Giants versus Bills boys, the Commanders.
Oh,
build across your merit. Breakout game.
Start Jaden Daniels. And Let him cook. I think, though, the Giants' defense could be scary this year, real scary. But that might come a bit later. And I think Washington have pretty unchanged. And I think you'll see an improved Jaden Daniels again. So Washington for me. Start Terry McLaurin.
Sorry, Debo.
Start Malik Neighbours. And don't start Russ. So, yeah, Washington for me, pretty comfortably. Next game.
Yeah.
Get away from it.
Washington winning big time.
Denver versus Tennessee, Benny.
This
At
is
Mile
a
High.
interesting game because I am a big Cam Ward truther. I will love to see him play against the Broncos. It's a tough matchup, tough first game for him. But
Yeah,
as you saw, if anyone watches college football, he was slinging it in Miami. So I think, big arm. He looks like he's locked in, Cam Ward. So
he's got
I don't know.
mentals.
For me, I think good mentals. I think he elevates this offense, to be honest. And I'm hopeful he takes the Titans into a new era.
Yeah.
For me, I like Bo Nix obviously as well in this game. You've got to start him. I think for me, probably he's teetering on that top 10 QB for the rest of the year. Every week he's probably going to be a smash start every week. RJ Harvey, J.K. Dobbins. I think probably Dobbins probably gets the Mokes. Yeah, you could probably start them both. I think J.K. would probably get even, to be honest. I thought J.K. maybe get the slight ahead, but it'd probably be an even backfield as well. You start Pollard, you start Ridley, you start Evan Ingram, Cortland Sutton. But the interesting one for me is Troy Franklin. I was big on him coming out of Oregon last year. He did play with Bo Nix down there in Oregon, so didn't really take that leap. So I'm interested to see how he goes this year. But for me, I got Broncos win. But yeah, I think it'll be one of the better games I think this week.
Yeah,
I'm hoping
it'd be really interesting because, as you said, like Cam Ward's first game, and it's like he played at Miami, which is down near sea level, and you think about just like the difficulty of being close to that sea level altitude. Now you're going up to Mile High to play in Denver, and it's just like you see the guys with the oxygen tanks and stuff on
the big O lineman, the big D lineman just sitting on the sideline and
so it's
sucking that air in.
With all that adrenaline going for your first game, being the number one pick, and you're doing it in an environment with noisy fans. It's gonna be an experience for him. So it's gonna be really cool to watch for sure. So see how he handles it. Tommy, San Fran versus Seattle. In Seattle.
I like that game. That's gonna be a good game. I think again it's going to be a pretty tight defensive contest. There's going to be a lot of rushing, and so he's going to go out there and do his thing. I think Kenneth Walker is looking healthy. The key is him staying healthy. That's going to be the key for the Seahawks this year. If he can stay healthy, then I think that they can win games. I think they've got talent across the board. A JSN can play in every position. You add Cup. I think they're a scary sort of naughty team. I think they could have a good year. San Fran, obviously, if Juan plays, then that's obviously another weapon. We've got Ricky Pierce at the moment, who could be repping a lot of targets. The way he finished off the year last year was pretty incredible. Kittle's going to get his thing, but I would make San Fran slight favourites just purely because they've been there, done that as a team many times. But I wouldn't be surprised if either team came away with a victory.
Yeah,
it's a close one to call.
Yeah, I got Jason 40+ in this game.
Yeah. Great call.
But yeah,
great call. San Fran to win for me. All right, moving into the next one. And now we're like, because we've gone from like those are 605 games. Now we're getting 625 games, and then we go to the prime time games.
You've got some good. You've got some good 3 games, 4 games coming up to talk about.
Yeah. All right, so Benny, you got Detroit and Green Bay.
I like this one. I've got the Sun God armor on, so this is a good game. But division rivals, aren't they? So this is going to be a big game at Lambeau too. Yeah. So Parsons, does he play? I don't know. I don't know if it's a bit of cheek about his back injury or anything, because you saw he was training, but reports came out saying, I don't know, like he might not play, or we'll see how he goes. But you're still starting Gibbs. You could probably even start Monty, but that's a backfield I'm interested to see, because I think as off-season reports are saying, Gibbs is probably taking majority of that work. It's probably not going to be as close anymore. And then you've got Jamo. Can he take that next step this year?
Yeah.
A lot of people are high on him.
Yeah.
I don't mind him as well. But yeah, that's interesting to see. And then Laporta as well. Can he come back to some good season form this year around? It's interesting to see how this whole Lions team works with no Ben Johnson now in the offense. So and defense as well, because they've lost both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
No
Both
Reed,
coordinators
no
gone.
Watson, probably no Wicks as well. Stonks up on Golden, Kraft, and Jacobs.
Yeah.
I also like Jared Goff over 21.5 passing completions. He's hit that the last 6 games as well.
Who's your winner, Ben?
Yeah. I'm going to say Green Bay at home. I think they could be a Super Bowl contender this year as well. I just think with LaFleur, he's coming up into a contract year with the GM as well. They both are. So yeah, I think they need to pull something out of their backside this year to keep their jobs, to be honest. So yeah, I think they win.
They've obviously gone all in on trying to be a Super Bowl contender. I think Detroit love this, man. I think that they're sitting there. And I think they are laughing right now, man. They're like, "You're gonna write us off again?"
Yeah.
Like, have you seen this? What we've been doing the last 2-3 years?
I think so.
I
too.
actually think they're gonna come out, and I'm like, I think they're gonna whoop ass. I think they're gonna come out. Jared Goff,
Who's back?
packing, huh?
Who's back this year? Hachi.
And that's the other thing. Like, look what they did last year. Yeah, look what they did last year. He's got to be favourite for anyone you want to tip for the comeback player of the year. It's right there. It's Hutch. 100% it's Hutch. Has to be.
Yeah. It'll be up there.
Detroit, I think Detroit is sitting there after what they've done in the division the last couple of years, after what they've done in the league and all of their defensive starters out last year. I think they're sitting there. This is exactly where they want to be. Let everyone talk about everyone externally. They're going to come out there. Goff's going to lead the boys. Hutch's going to lead the boys, and they're going to put on a show. So that's just my read on it in terms of just, I don't know how I think that those guys operate and how Campbell gets in the
I don't
play.
mind it.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
So that's just my read on it, because everyone's going Green Bay. Like, if you look at the sleepers got 57%.
Lambeau's a tough area.
It's definitely don't hate the pick, but I feel that's just sort of my feel on it. I just think the Lions they love this stuff.
Do love the Lions.
Good stuff.
Houston versus the Rams.
Oh, again, that's a really tight game. The number one offensive play caller, I'd say, in the league, you've got McVay there. And like now he gets Devontae, Puka, Byron. Like you can never write them off. I think they're going to be a really balanced offense that they can move the ball how they want to move the ball. And I think that's always going to make them dangerous, having a really good coach. Then on the other side of the ball, you got Stroud, who had a pretty, I guess, less impressive year than the year prior. So I think that we see him go up this year. Yeah. I think he'll have more designed throws. I think they're a really heavy running team, which probably, with Nico out every now and then, and Tank Dell, real inconsistent kind of lineup with the receivers. So it was hard to get that chemistry going. You bring in Higgins now. I think he's going to be an additional weapon for them. I think Christian Kirk is a reliable player who can play in the slot.
I think he's a great little slot receiver to have, for sure.
I think that Houston can also be sneaky good, and I think they're well coached as well. So it'll be a tight game, but for me, it'll be a battle of the defenses who gets it done in that space, and I would slightly edge the Rams to win that game.
Yeah, that's a good one. Also, like Kyron Williams, most rushing yards out of everyone in the game.
Yep. That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. But
do you start Chubb, fantasy-wise?
No.
it's a
As
new
a flex,
offense.
if you need a flex.
I don't know. Like, I know there's a lot of talk of Damian Pierce, and this system now works into what he was playing 2 years ago in his first year at Texans. They've gone back, obviously. So I don't know. It's a messy backfield. I just don't have confidence. I don't know about you boys, but
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know.
I think I've probably even got him in a couple spots just because I'm desperate. Leagues with 2 flexes.
Yeah.
I got Texans to win.
All right. I got
Texans
Rams
to win.
myself, but yeah.
I feel like it is more skewed to Rams, and I'm sort of just looking at it and thinking about week 1. There's usually a couple upsets, and Stafford's playing, but he hasn't had ideal preparation with his back, so I'm going to go with Texans. Do we give this one to Benni, or do we?
Nah, let Tommy. I'll chip in for give me the Mike's Bears, and I'll let Tommy take the big one.
What's happening?
Baltimore versus Buffalo.
Oh,
this is you. I'll chime in when I need to, but you lead us off, man.
Ginormous game to start the year. I think it's honestly going to set either team up really big. You've got the boss, you've got Lamario. I think, I don't think he'll be hindered by the foot. I think from all reports, it's pretty free. Like there's nothing wrong. You've got just a stud team there in the Ravens. Like we say it as we joke, but they've genuinely got a stud field team. On the defensive space to the offensive space, I think Shoddy's really underrated. I think you've got Zay Flowers there, Marky Mark. Like to me, that's a really elite 3. And then you've got Derrick Henry and some good, other running backs. So that's really hard to beat. On the other side, again, Josh the boss, like if he's up and about, he carries that team. He's he's like, in old Call of Duty where he used to have like one-man army. He runs that perk. You've got Coleman who could take another step. I think Kincaid is a serious weapon, but whether he's healthy or whether he's up to it in the NFL level, we don't know yet. They've got, as you were saying before, Gabe Davis is back. They've got freshly signed Cooksey, who just signed a mega deal. I think he can punch in some TDs. But again, it's a game where it's just going to be a battle of superstars and who gets the chocolates. But for me, I think I can't move away from the Ravens. They're too good on paper.
I've got the Bills purely. I just think Josh Allen is just a superstar. And I know Lamar Jackson's a superstar, but I just think Josh Allen's crazy.
It's a tough game.
This is a big year for Buffalo with it's their last year in their traditional stadium that they've had before they move into the new that looks amazing, their new stadium that they're building. So I think kicking the season off in that stadium, their last year there's a bit of emotion riding high, and they want to start the year off well. I think Buffalo in front of their home fans gets it done. We'll give you edge. If it was at the M&T Bank Stadium, it might have been a different stadium. It might have been a different call.
We out there.
See me.
Yeah, the bag.
I think the Bills though for me. What's your thoughts and feels?
I think it's another tough game. We started the season last year against Kansas at Kansas and missed out by one from big toe of Isaiah Likely to winning that game. It was tough. Yeah, look, our defense is upgraded again this year. We've got Malik Starks, first round pick, to help out Cole Hamilton. And obviously the big name Jair Alexander to help out that defense. Well, I know not a seatbelt, everyone. It's not a seatbelt, as you said, but it's tough one for me. I think Ravens, obviously, very high-powered offense. I still think we're probably one top receiver away from probably winning most stuff, but Tommy's probably disagrees with me. But yeah, Zay's good. Mark, and yeah, it's just 2 mega players up against each other this week. That's
heavyweights.
Yeah, that's a great game. So I got Lamar 30+ rush and Allen 20+ rushing yards. I think they're 2 good plays this week for me.
But all right, last one before we go into a real in-depth sort of look at the 2 sort of feature games to start the week. Minnesota versus the Bears in Chicago.
Yeah, it's a tough one. This is a tough game actually to pick because JJ McCarthy his first game, and then Ben Johnson with Caleb, and it's been all out on show. Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson, and how it's been going in preseason this year. Like, it hasn't been great. So, yeah, for me, it's a tough game. I just don't know how Loveland, Burton, Adunze, and Moore all kind of work. It'll be interesting to see. And then I think Jefferson's a QB proof, to be honest. So that's not a worry for me. And then the backfield. So, yeah, for me, quick one I like Swift, 10 plus rec yards in this one. And then a cheeky one is Van Ginkel for a sack. He had 11 and a half sacks last year.
Painful.
And you saw
hangs on to the
Caleb,
ball, man.
and Caleb's been getting 10 up in preseason holding on to the ball.
Yeah.
So I just think, I think Van Ginkel's going to get through and get at least one.
Man. I like that. You're bringing that sauce, man. You bring your own flavour. I like that.
Saucy, but yeah, I like Swift as well. I think he'll get a couple of catches out of the back.
Who wins, Benny?
I think Vikes win.
Yeah, I got the Vikes.
That's my take. So
yeah.
I just
Vikes.
think
Yeah.
With
Caleb's,
Kevin, he's
Caleb's
gonna
diva. You got KOC guiding JJ, and I think, and I think I've spoken about this before. I think TJ Hawkinson faced a bit this year. First year quarterbacks love to have that little, because he's obviously got JJ, which JJ's covered. He's going to throw to Hawk in those short and intermediate routes.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. All right. We've done all those games. Now 14 games, boys. Now the two big ones that we really the juice is flowing.
Let's get it.
So 2 sleeps, 10:20 a.m. 10:20 a.m. here Friday in Melbourne. We've got Dallas Cowboys going to the link to see the Eagles and their Super Bowl banner go up. Massive rivalry game. We have just the divisional clash. Obviously, it's an early NFC statement game, but I don't. Yeah, after the news of obviously Mike has gone. Is Clark playing? Well, yes, I'm assuming so.
I believe so. Yeah.
He should be. Yeah.
So I guess in terms, you can talk real life. I think real life. Like I'm sitting here, and I think Philadelphia win. Hurts versus Dak in terms of QB duel. Who would you rather have in fantasy?
For me, it's a tough. This is seriously, it's a tough one. I don't know what you think, Tommy. Hurts, obviously, with the rushing upside, especially in those 4-point leagues. If you need, they're big, the rushing QBs. In your 6-point leagues, I think Dak has maybe that upside in those leagues for me. Yeah, Hurts only threw for like 29,000 yards last year, whereas Dak the last time out in the full fit year he was 4,500. Yeah, for me, it's going to be it's tough to pick. I like both plays this week, both QBs. Tommy might have a different take on it all, but yeah, for me, you start both. You definitely start both this year with confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd comfortably start Hurts. I think they can, they're the definition of a powerhouse team. And I think they can beat you by, the old school kind of, if anybody's watched America's Team on Netflix, it's the old saying what they can get you by land, by air, by sea, all sorts of stuff. And I just think they're going to absolutely bash the Cowboys. I think they're going to bash the Cowboys.
Boys are in for it.
For sure.
Yeah.
They're in for it.
But saying that, it means that Dak will have to throw. You might get some TDs in there, and you might say, I think Saquon's going to just slash them up this week. I think Saquon's in for a big week.
Yeah.
Stopping the run, it'll be really tough.
In a sec, because the thing I wanted to ask you before we get to running back and Saquon is, who are you taking? You got Lamb and Pickens, or you can choose between AJ Brown and Devontae?
As for this game this week, God, it's tough. I don't know. Tom's probably going to say AJ and Smith maybe, but I like the CD and Pickens just because I feel Cowboys are going to be playing behind most of the game
script.
So the game script's going to be a lot different. Dak's got to start slinging it. He has to at some point, I reckon, because I feel this is a game easily where you can see the Eagles being up by 2 scores in the first quarter or the first quarter and a half, and then next thing you know, they're going to be running the ball as much as they can, and Dak's just going to be trying to sling it as much as they can. So for me, I'll pick CD and Pickens this week over AJB and Devontae.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
I
agree.
concur.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think last year it's usually always one of those the three out of Saquon, Devonta, and AJB who have big games, and then I think Hurts supports the rest in little ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, Tommy, you just touched on Saquon and how you think he's going to shred defense even with that.
They won't be able to
addition
stop the
into
run.
middle. Looking at the other side, Javonte Williams, Jaden Blue, Miles Sanders. You starting any of them? Are you looking at any of them for this week?
I'm looking at Javonte with a bit of caution, like with a amber light, I guess, if you want to call it, to see what happens in that backfield. But if you've got him, you're not start. I personally, I wouldn't be starting him. But
if you've got him in a
Yeah.
guillotine late, then you got to start him. But I mean, I if you can avoid starting him, then I wouldn't start him.
just say like Tom touched, like Saquon's going to be running all over these blokes. Like I know Dickerson missed this week practice on Monday and he's back like by the O-line, but you can just tell like Hurts and Sakis are just it's a standard game for Hurts and Sakis just running all over the Cowboys.
They're going to break them, and Jerry's going to be
It's going
sitting
to
up
make me
in
really happy.
Jerry's going to be sitting up in the stands going, "Where's Emmett?
Where's Michael? Where's Michael Parsons?
Take me back.
Give me back Michael."
Benny, you got anything in terms of props or the line set
got a
at
few.
8.5, by the way.
Yeah, I like Dak 200 plus. I think that's a good play this week. I like Hurts for 20 plus rushes. You can play that up to 25 as well. I think that's a nice one. And then I think Eagles win. You can just tell during the week, Sirianni, even though I don't like the bloke, they're locked in. They didn't even know it was Jersey night, apparently. He was saying, I don't know how true that is. But he's just an absolute flog. Can I say that on this potty? He's a flog. He's just an absolute flog, that bloke. So, but yeah, I just think Eagles at home after the Super Bowl against Cowboys who have been just disrupted all week. Eagles.
Good.
Cool. Woof.
In Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Oh, it's in
Welcome
Brazil. I
to
forgot about
Brazil.
this.
Brazil. We've got 10 a.m. Saturday morning Melbourne time. Kansas City Chiefs versus Los Angeles Chargers. And we've got Mahomes versus Herbert. We've got some AFC West fireworks. I guess the storylines I want to look into with you, gentlemen. First of all, we got no Rice, but we got Xavier Worthy and we got Travis Kelce. What do you think the usage is going to be like?
Exactly like last year, to be honest. I think his safety blanket in Kelce is just going to still continue to be safety blanket, to be honest. Checkers is back, which is good for him. I can lean on him in the backfield, passing out in the backfield as well. I like Pacheco as a passing back as well. So, but yeah, I hopefully think Xavier Worthy takes that second year step up and gets peppered a little bit more. He's a good talent, but didn't get utilized enough last year. So, yeah, they always talk about Kelce dropping off every single year, probably for the last 5 years. Is it this year? I'm not going to put my hat on saying it is, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see for sure. What do you think, Tommy?
Controversial take. I think if anything, it just means that Hollywood's probably going to get a little bit more.
Oh, forgot about Hollywood.
And so he's my cheeky anytime touchdown play there.
The spice from the goal.
So I'd go Hollywood anytime TD. I think you like Worthy's going to line up and get some cashes. Kelce the same. Like they're just going to share it around up. That's what they do.
They're going to get some end arounds with Worthy as well. I'm involved in the running game.
I think for me would be Ladrick Conkey. Second year players who usually do that. We saw his from week 7 onwards. He just sort of exploded, didn't he? His usage went up. I think Keenan doesn't scare me too much. I think he's still got that safety blanket. I don't know if Najee will play. Marion could come out, and traditionally, I think Chiefs haven't been able to stop the run, but they're trying to move towards that's their game plan, I think, a bit more with what they've said. So if they can't, then maybe that Chargers offense might get a hold of them. You just don't know.
Gun to your head, who you taking, Checkers or Hampton?
Hampton.
Hampton, I think.
Hampton
I think
this week?
I think Najee plays. Apparently, he came out, did an interview yesterday, I think it was, and he was in glasses. So obviously,
Yeah. Has
so you
anyone
couldn't
seen his
see,
face yet?
couldn't see his eyes. So,
Man behind
but
the
Eyes
man.
are on
what
the
he's
whole
saying,
time, man. It must be pretty gnarly.
he's saying he's ready to go, and it was a bit overdone about the whole thing about his eye and blah blah blah. But
He's hidden his eye the whole preseason.
you smash Hampton again this week. I just think at what 6'1",
Smash.
Young Derrick Henry.
yeah, young Derrick Henry can catch the ball as well. I think he's just he's a very good play this week.
All right. I'm going to give you one. We sort of spoke about the wide receivers in KC, so I just want to jump to this particular question before we look at any props.
Go.
This is going to draw some ire from some certain corners in the Snapchat Society world. Is Justin Herbert still elite for fantasy?
I'm going to let Tommy start this one because I know him and Tromboy. If Tromboy is in my seat right now, he would be very vocal about Herbert because he is very vocal in a few group chats about Herbert. So I'll let Tommy take this off here.
Thanks,
you
Steph.
go, Tom. Thank you.
No, thank you. No, would be my simple answer. He's not in my top 15, nor I don't actually think he's in my top 20. But he will have big games. He will have big games mixed in with a lot of that's how they want to play. And purely his upside most weeks I see as being 1 to 2 touchdowns max passing. I think he's going to have a lot of kind of short stuff. They're going to move the chains. Yeah, he's not in my top 15 is Herbert.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because Gregor Roman's their OC. He used to be Baltimore's OC, and once he left Baltimore, you can see the offense went to a new level. Yeah, and whereas now he's at Chargers, and it's like they're going backwards. And I guess they've got Harborough as well. But, he's all about running the rock.
Yeah,
It's in their DNA, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like Tommy, I think I'm pro-side a little bit more on Tommy's side than the consensus of saying he's a top 12 quarterback.
Yeah, he didn't make our consensus, did he?
Yeah.
No, he was on the outer. I'm definitely with you guys, and I think for me, I'm picking the Chiefs to get it done.
Yeah.
Benni, you got any plays for us?
Yeah, I like the Chiefs this week as well. I like Mahomes 200 plus.
Mm-hmm.
He averaged 245.5 a game last year, and last year in game 1 against the Ravens, he threw for 291 yards. So I think the 200 plus is a great play. Kelsey for 30 plus yards receiving is a good one, and this one, which I showed you at the start of the day, which is Pacheco over 1.5 receptions. I think that's some good value there as well.
Yeah, like that, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy, anything else you want to add?
Question, is it a big or bold take to say that Herbert doesn't finish as a top 12 fantasy QB?
I don't think it's bold at all. I
don't think it's bold.
15?
We have him. I wouldn't be shocked by it. That's the thing.
I have him outside my top 15.
We have looking at our consensus rankings. Like I had Trevor Lawrence ahead of him. He didn't make our consensus. I think he was next in. I think let's if we look at our consensus rankings, if I bring them up.
Yeah, he's
we have
interesting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we had Jared Goff that was just out. We had Trevor just out. There's that many guys that could slot in ahead of him that I just think, he's probably in that 15 to 20 range, isn't he?
I think so. That's what and that's purely from, I think there's so many guys that I would have ahead of him.
Yeah, 100%.
Would you rather Bryce Young or Justin Herbert for fantasy?
I think Herbert still.
Just because I feel like games could go the way where Bryce has to sling it. And if Tet, here's one: Geno Smith or
I was
Justin
thinking
Herbert.
that.
Yeah.
Herbert.
I don't know, like Tua or Herbert.
Tua.
Herbert.
Really?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Darnold?
No.
Yeah, I reckon Darnold or Herbert. No, tell me.
Mate,
Like-
Darnold,
The weapons that Seattle have, where did Darnold finish in QB rankings last year? I know it's a different
for me,
offense. I know
it's
that.
things like this: Herbert or JJ McCarthy.
That's a good one.
I think I'm going JJ.
I think I might just lean Herbert at the moment, just slightly.
Herbert or Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor.
Trevor easily. Not even.
Here's one for you: Herbert.
You're going to say Michael Penix?
No. Herbert or Jordan Love.
You boys
Jordan
see that?
Love.
Hang on. Where is
I'm
it?
taking Jordan
Yeah,
Love.
but that was with
Said
that
that.
was with the Vikings.
Oh, I was with KOC.
That was
Yeah, that's for the
Vikings.
Vikings.
I feel like it's not that, like, he's in a good position. He's in a
Yeah.
good position to succeed. I think Darnold is not an outrageous take. Finishes
Yeah.
QB9 with the Vikes.
I
Yeah.
think Herbert ahead of Darnold for me. But would you take Michael Penix or?
Herbert.
Penix.
Yeah, see, like it's
Yeah.
For me,
Starting to split hairs.
For me,
It's a weird
Herbert's
one.
in that range of like JJ, CJ Stroud, Love, Trevor Lawrence, that kind of crew. I don't think he's super far down, but he's in that 15, 12 to 20 kind of range.
yeah.
I think what we've given a pretty comprehensive breakdown of these this week's games, and listeners have got plenty to be excited about. I
They
think
do.
the whole
Love it.
fantasy and NFL world is excited about kickoff happening. I think look out for content that we've got coming out. We're going to have our updated consensus rankings for our wide receivers and running backs just released. Just a little update for everyone on our Instagram page. The creator and the listener league have started up too, which will be great in terms of sharing some content. So we've got some week one mashups. So keep your eye out on the Instagram page for that as well.
Glad that's
We
done.
are now live on Apple Podcasts. If you're listening to Apple Podcasts as well, thank you for being part of the community. And I guess lastly, before we sign off, I'll throw to Goat for some final thoughts too. But just want to thank Benni for stepping up in Stevie Boy's absence. Done a fantastic job in your first guest slot, mate. So
Thank you,
welcome
boys.
back anytime from our perspective.
I'm always
We wanna thank you.
available for some props and shooting the shit with you blokes. So anytime.
Good
Really
job, mate.
appreciate
Thank
it,
you.
man.
Thank you for having me.
Goat, you got anything to sign off with?
Goat Slayer, I'm coming for you.
I think we're ending on that. Ciao.